great. That's my dream.
My dream would be that if you, I'm going to go on with my dreams now. My dream would be that there'd be like a one.
4 in 10 Canadians don't have the literacy foundation they need to meet the demands of today's knowledge society.
My life before literacy, I was depressed. I stayed in the house a lot. I had to take my daughter with me wherever I went. I had very low self-esteem. I was suicidal. I didn't like going to talk to anybody about anything because they'd throw a paper at you and say, fill this out. And
like learning how to speak English, to understand how to talk English, like.
And yeah, got high school diploma, doesn't know how to read, really. Couldn't really read this out loud to my daughter because I was ashamed of myself not learning how to read. And that's what made me want to learn for my kids, you know, being a good example for them.
My name is Gordon Lee. I'm from China. I came to University of Regina as a visiting scholar. My originally plan is for 1 year, but after that I like Canada, so I stay here, find a job, get a life here. So I like Canada.
18 years old, I became pregnant, and I was given a gift of reading material for the child. And when I opened the book, I realized that I couldn't read the stuff inside, and at that moment I realized that I needed to do something.
Demands on literacy organizations are increasing, while resources remain static from year to year. Less than 10% of Canadians who could benefit from literacy services are being helped.
At the moment, I own my own business, and also I do illustrations for kids' books.
I start doing this job training. I done dishwashing. Learn how to do dishwashing.
Well, if it wasn't for literacy, I luckily wouldn't be sitting in front of this camera, that's for sure. It's a whole new way of living. It's going from poverty and low-paying jobs to owning 2 businesses.
A 1% increase in average literacy rates would yield a 1.5% permanent increase in gross domestic product. This means a boost of $15 billion per year.
I think the government should, people should not have the assumption that because you live in a rich country like Canada, a wonderful country in Canada, that everybody's literacy skill is high, because it's not.
The one thing that I really think is a necessity is for people to visually see other people like myself and realize that there's programs where to go.
I'd give them more money to go to school.
Well, I like to see people learn how to talk English. And
different English background people, such as the English as a second language speakers, that mostly related kind of immigrants who was born and grew up out of Canada.
I'd have a 1-800 number for learners, answered by learners or people who understood learners' problems and how hard it was for them to make that first contact. Because a lot of learners will only make that one first contact.
Other things that you need to learn, even computer skill. You know, not all of us have the ability or the money to use the computer, and I am one of them.
I think that it's important for us to have trained practitioners that understand where learners have come from and how to get them on the road of learning.
To really focus on some of our Aboriginal people, Native people, to learn English and to be able to, even understand paper they're signing on that, you know.
Right now, it takes a long time to get into programs, and lots of times when learners are ready to go to school, they want to go now. They don't want to wait 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road. They want to go now, and there's always a long waiting period.
My second recommendation is maybe we can consider kind of a senior project.
So because I have 4 kids and I want to instill learning in them in a fun way and having a group thing together so that we could all learn together and they could see that it's fun and natural and other people are doing it and all families are doing it, that it would just help them learn and it would help me learn at the same time. And actually when you do it in a fun way, you don't even realize you're
I
learning.
think that we need funding that's going to last indefinitely. That you know that if you start a program, that it's going to be there next year and it's going to be there the year after. So if it takes me that long, that I'm going to be able to have that certificate or diploma at the end of it.
We do need to give the learners a chance to have our voice heard, that we are important in society, that we are a strong voice, that we can make a difference.
Literacy groups have observed that persons with less literacy do not generally vote. Increasingly, governments are seeking input from citizens on public policy development. When governments try to engage consumers and stakeholders on issues that affect them, those without good literacy and information processing skills are increasingly disadvantaged in the process.
Now, I think literacy means to me is that always learning, you know, and it's not just reading and writing, I think it's confidence in yourself, that it wakes you up within yourself that I want to learn, I want to be better, I want to be a productive citizen and a helpful person in the community, you know, so that's what it means to me now.
That was the main goal in my life, was to make sure that my child wouldn't be embarrassed by his mom and wouldn't go through the same difficult problems that I had to go through school. So that's what I feel I've accomplished in my life, was educating myself so that my children could follow in my footsteps.
Freedom. I think people have more freedom in Canada. That's mostly important to me. I like Canada.
Personally, literacy to me means freedom. I'm allowed to do anything, I can accomplish anything, I can have any goal, I can do or say or be anything I want to be without any limits or limitations put on me. And that was put on me by myself, and now that I've taken that away, I'm totally can do anything.